Are the San Francisco 49ers looking to move on from all-pro safety Talanoa Hufanga? That's what we're talking about on today's San Francisco 49ers Report. I'm Chase Sr. Thanks for hanging out here with us. Hope all of you out there getting set to have a fantastic weekend. What we're going to do on the show, and I already know people are going wild in the comment section, we're going to follow the paper trail because it looks like the Niners might be looking for other options outside of Hufanga. And I get it. This is kind of tough to grasp and difficult to understand. I understand the outrage. A fifth-round pick out of USC. I loved the pick at the time. I'm a huge fan of the player. He plays the game the right way. In his second year in the National Football League as a late-round pick, he was a second-team All-Pro. In year one, he had that scoop and score in the cathedral of NFL football against the Packers in the divisional round after Jordan Willis was able to block that punt. And he's made huge plays for this 49ers defense. He always seems to be in the right place at the right time. That comes with hard work, dedication, staying in the lab, a lot of film study, and a love for football, but also him being a smart, heady, cerebral player. I love his work ethic as well. One of the first ones out on the practice field every single practice. Oftentimes, one of the last ones to leave the practice field. The same thing can be said for game days as well. Takes the field very early to work on his game. And then you think about the playing style as well, right? Plays hard, plays fast, very physical. He is so fun to watch. And I've said this a lot on the show. I don't just say this because of the hair and the Polynesian connection, but I say it with his playing style, with the way that he goes about his craft, how he's utilized and has been utilized in this Niners defense. He plays like Hall of Famer Troy Polamalu. In the box, blitz packages, delayed blitzes, hybrid linebacker, safety, making championship-worthy plays. But let's follow the buzz here with what's been transpiring over the last couple of weeks. Mike Silver, very tapped into this organization, had the report last week that Talanoa Hufanga is not guaranteed his starting role. It's number one. He's also coming off a torn ACL. When is he going to come back? What type of player is he going to be? He had that Baker cyst behind his knee, which is a part of the reason why that knee was starting to wear down a little bit. There's also this, though. The Niners roster is getting very expensive, and San Francisco is having to give out contract extensions and has given out contract extensions to a lot of players. Brandon Ayuk is looking for a new deal. Brock Purdy going to be looking for a new deal after 2024. So with Hufanga in a contract year, fourth and final year of that deal, money's tight. He's going to be looking for a new contract. Can San Francisco afford to sign him to a lucrative deal? And if they can't, do they look to move on from him and trade him? There's also this. The Niners have been eyeing safeties in the free agency market, and Talanoa Hufanga, with Nick Sorensen now being the defensive coordinator, might not be a scheme fit with what the Niners want to do and what they prefer to do. More on that in a second. But in free agency, the Niners have checked in on all-pro safety Justin Simmons, who leads the NFL in interceptions since coming into the league in 2016 and has been a four-time All-Pro in this league. Highly decorated player. Julian Blackmon visited with the Niners on Thursday. He's 25 years old, coming off a career year, did not give up a touchdown in coverage, third in missed tackle rate, so he's a very good tackler, and one of the best coverage safeties that people aren't talking about. And then the Niners also showed interest in Rayshon Jenkins, who was let go by the Jags. He signed with the Seattle Seahawks. Those are three safeties here who are good players, accomplished in this league, and the Niners are not bringing in Simmons, Blackmon, Jenkins to be a backup. They also drafted Jair Brown in the third round of the 2023 draft out of Penn State. Once Hufanga went down, Jair Brown stepped in, played well. And Jair Brown, with the potential that he has, interception of Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl, He's got a lot of versatility to his game. Similar player to Talanoa Hufanga. He's not a backup. So with all of that being said, where does that leave Talanoa Hufanga, and what does that mean for his future with the San Francisco 49ers? He's been a productive player. He has value if you do want to trade him. His Pro Football Focus numbers in 2022, when he was a first-team All-Pro and a Pro Bowler on 639 snaps. Overall grade is 68.8, pass rush grade of 71.4, run defense grade of 64.5, and a coverage grade of 67.8. Keep in mind, some of these PFF numbers for safeties are scheme dependent, and it depends on how the players on the first two levels of the defense, defensive line, linebackers, are faring. And that can really skew a safety's numbers. But then you look at Hufanga's numbers in 2023. Once again, very solid player. Season cut short because of injury, but the grades went up. Overall grade is 70.5. Pass rush grade, 76.3. Run defense grade, 77.1. He is elite as a pass rusher and a blitzer and against the run. Coverage grade, though, 66.3, which is solid. Those numbers just barely in the green, but pretty good. Where Hufanga excels, and we've seen it, this is why he's become a fan favorite. Plays so well against the run. He'll put his hat on the ball carrier. He's physical, not afraid to lay down a hit. You can include him as the extra man on timed blitzes or delayed blitzes. He's always making plays around the line of scrimmage, whether that be flanked to an edge rusher or on the interior. He has tremendous instincts and playmaking abilities. And I said this when the Niners drafted him at a USC. I said, don't worry about some of the testing numbers. This guy just has a knack for making plays because of the instincts and the feel that he has. And while he doesn't run fast as far as like a 40-yard dash, he plays fast and he plays with his hair on fire. That's why he's so fun to watch. When you see number 29 with the hair going up and down, laying a big hit, making a big play, he's intercepted a lot of passes the last 2 years. He's a joy to watch. But where he struggles and why the Niners might be looking at some of these other options, they want two safeties who can play good as deep safeties against the pass. They've now lost 2 Super Bowls against Patrick Mahomes. It's kind of carved him up a little bit. And Hufanga struggles as a deep safety in the pass game. He gets over aggressive. He can sometimes bite on play actions, creativity, and overall, just the pass game in general. Sometimes he over pursues as well because of that over aggressiveness. And that causes him to over pursue, can't make a tackle, and it leads to a big play. Down the stretch in 2022, he did give up some big plays, both in the pass game and in the run game. Part of what makes him great and special as a player, the aggressiveness. But part of that can be some of his downfall. And Hufanga can be a liability in coverage at times. You talk to some really smart football people, they will tell you the same thing. Again, this is not me saying that he stinks. I've been complimentary of Talanoa Hufanga throughout the entire show, throughout his career. I loved the pick when they got him out of USC because of how he played there. And I thought it had an opportunity to be a very good value selection, and he's also contributed on special teams. But if the Niners are making some changes within this game, if they're looking for safeties to be better against the pass, Hufanga struggles there. And that's why they're looking at prototypical ball-hawking safeties. When I say ball-hawking safety, yes, Hufanga has 7 interceptions the last 2 years, 4 and 3. That's not necessarily what I mean by saying ball-hawking. Now, that's him reading, diagnosing, processing, but it's not him being an Ed Reed or a Justin Simmons type of safety where he could play center field back there and really read the pass game because he also lacks some of that speed to go sideline to sideline on some of those passing plays. Interesting scenario, interesting story to follow over the next few months, leading into the season, even going into the draft at the end of April. Before we hop on out of here, please make sure you subscribe to the show. We try to teach you about the game of football, provide you with thought-provoking content as well. 131,000 plus subscribers. There's a reason why we're approaching 132,000 subs. Hit that sub button right now. All of this is to say that Talanoa Hufanga can improve. It's not to say he can't improve, but Jair Brown played that similar role as Hufanga. And under Nick Sorensen, I think what the Niners are trying to do is they're trying to get back to some of the pillars, the bread and butter of that Seattle scheme, where they utilize safeties differently than how the Niners have been using safeties in particular last year, but over the last couple of years. And Brown right now kind of is in that Hufanga role. So you need to have that deep safety. And for those of you who are also saying, well, Chase, NFL teams can play 3 safety sets. They don't, though. At the college level, high school level, you can get away with 3 safety sets, but what does that do? Opens up a lot of passes underneath. And the elite quarterbacks, elite wide receivers, elite running backs, elite tight ends, elite playmakers, they're going to be able to take advantage of all that real estate and all that open grass. And to those who are saying, again, Hufanga is a ball hawk. Yes, he has 7 picks the last 2 years for sure. Doesn't mean that he's that rangy safety with really good speed who is like a Justin Simmons or an Ed Reed. The 49ers have hid him in coverage at times by putting him around the line of scrimmage because they're doing what a good coaching staff should do. Tap into his strengths. The reality also, Niners might not be able to pay him the deal that he is seeking. And you can get solid value back in a trade potentially here. So, what would you do with Hufanga? T for trade, K for keep. What say you? Sound off with what you think. Thanks for watching. And if you haven't subscribed, do so right now.